Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the press conference of Prime Minister Katainen and Prime Minister of Romania, Mr. Ponta. We take first short statements and after that we have time of questions. So, Prime Minister Katainen, please.
Thank you very much. Very warm welcome to the press conference. First of all, my dear colleague, Prime Minister Ponta, dear Victor, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much that you took some time to visit in Finland. It's always very important to have opportunity to talk bilaterally without any other agenda except the one we have set ourselves. We meet each other quite often in Brussels, but I have found it very important to have also bilateral time to go through bilateral issues, but also innovate the ways to find results to the EU, to the issues which are on the EU agenda. Today we talked about first the issues which are kind of Finland-Romania related issues. One of the most important thing was education. I'm very glad that Romania and our authorities, but also Finnish companies, have been so interested in to have closer cooperation developing education. There are a couple of Finnish companies who are ready to evaluate Romanian education system and find solutions together with the Romanian authorities. The second issue which we talked about was the deeper cooperation, especially in clean technologies, meaning renewable energy production, energy efficiency solutions to industry, and especially, and this I would like to underline, green mining, because mining is a big issue here in Finland, but also in Romania, and we should find the best possible, most environmental friendly technologies to make mining more sustainable in environmental terms, but also in economic terms. And there we have a similar situation in both countries, and this is one of the areas which I could imagine we can find more to do together in the years to come. Of course, we touched upon the European agenda. We were talking about the future of Europe. I explained our position of fair integration. We need more Europe in some particular issues, but also more national responsibilities. For instance, in energy policy, in digital single market, in common security and defense policy, we need more Europe, more European integration. We need banking union in order to avoid a similar banking crisis what we have seen to happen a couple of years ago. But at the same time, we need more national responsibility, meaning that we cannot outsource all of our fiscal responsibilities to the European institutions. We have to be strong enough as a countries, as a nation states, as a member states to take our own national responsibility. And there I guess we share more or less a similar vision. So we also talked about the EU's reform needs. EU must be reformed in a sense that we must be ready to go through whether all the directives are still adequate, whether we need all the directives what we have created, and especially we should concentrate on improving competitiveness, because competitiveness is a core thing behind the prosperity and well-being in Europe in the future. So that's why instead of repatriation of competencies, we should concentrate on improving the competitiveness. And there I could imagine that there are some directives which are not good for the competitiveness, and that's why we should look very carefully on this entity. So, Prime Minister, dear Victor, thank you very much for your visit in Finland. And actually, I think the reason that you came here, we found more concrete issues to cooperate with. Thank you very much.
I would also like to thank very much for the warm welcome here in Helsinki. I would like to stress that the last bilateral meeting between Finnish and Romanian Prime Minister goes back to before Romania joined the European Union. I think 2006 was the last bilateral meeting. Of course, we've met in Brussels several times, but as I was telling Jyrki in Brussels, there is never time to talk about important issues. Always we have to be very fast in taking decisions. I think that Romania and Finland should develop much more, not only our political relationship, but most of all the economic relationship. The level of commercial trade is still very low, and we have a lot of opportunities and areas in which we can develop this. But speaking about bilateral relationship, of course, we would like to benefit from the excellent development of the Finnish education system. That's why I am joining this trip by the Research and Higher Education Minister, and we will have a very good event this afternoon based on the good experience and the model that can be used in improving Romanian education system. Also in economy, you mentioned some of the areas in which Finland is very, very much advanced: green technologies, green energy, and green mining. I was informing Prime Minister Katainen that right now in Romania there is a huge and important debate about the future of mining system, and of course learning from Finland, learning from the most advanced and the greenest technologies might help us a lot in taking the right decisions. We have also consulted each other about the future of Europe, and I think that we are both still young political leaders belonging to different political families, but having and sharing the same ideas about the future of Europe. We think that more integration, less bureaucracy, clear vision for the future, it's something that our people and the European people is expecting from us as leaders. We have consulted each other about the position that we will have in the next European Council regarding the digital agenda and the innovation development of Europe. But even so, we want to stay close and to have a common vision and common involvement in creating what should be the future vision of Europe after the next European elections and with the new Commission. I think that there is a lot to be done together, not least in some special areas. Of course, we will have in December a very important discussion at the European level regarding the defense policy, and here Finland, like Romania, being at the border of the European Union, should be well prepared and should be better integrated in a European strategy. I would like to use also this first meeting with the Romanian press in order to express my sorrow for the last news of 2 Romanian soldiers dying in Afghanistan. I'm very solidary with the families, and I think that this is the cost that democracies sometimes unfortunately must pay for helping other countries to find the difficult way to democracy. And I want to send all my solidarity to the families of the 2 Romanian soldiers. But once again, I think that it was a good opportunity to talk about Europe, to talk about Finland and Romania, and to see that we can work together for the better of our people and the Europe. Thank you very much for the warm welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Ministers. The first question to TVR Romania, Roxana Nigu. Please use microphone.
I should say, because of the cameras, a question for both the Prime Ministers. How can Romania convince Finland that we deserve to become a Schengen member? Did you talk about this issue? Thank you.
Of course we did.
Yeah, of course we did. Everybody agrees the fact that Romania fulfills the technical criteria of Schengen. And in the European level, we have decided, and Finland fully support this decision, that after the next CVM report, we can get more information which helps us to do a decision that Romania could join the Schengen. According to the latest CVM report, Romania has Romania got a positive signal or positive feedback from the European Commission, and this is of course positive news. And I said to Prime Minister that we want to encourage you to continue in this line, because it is not only a question which is important in the European level, but it's primarily a positive news to Romanians themselves, Romanian people. And as I said, we have decided in the European level that after next CVM report, if the result is positive, as we believe, then it's easier to do a decision.
So I would only add that, of course, we talked about this subject, but it was not the most important subject on the agenda. Technically, yes, we are prepared. I think that up to the end of the year, decision might be taken regarding the first step, which is the airport borders. And of course, we took notice and we understand how important is going to be the next CVM report. And as Prime Minister said, we have done positive steps. We only have to be very committed in this direction, and the decision will be taken.
If I may add one thing which is not directly connected to CVM, or at least connected to Schengen decision, we talked about rule of law within the EU. And our proposal, Finnish proposal, has been that we need a new mechanism which is common for all the European countries, which through which we could evaluate the situation of rule of law of all the European countries. As we have seen, especially during the last few years when we had very difficult economic times, the principle of rule of law has been questioned in some of our member countries. And this is very dangerous development, because EU is not only a free trade area, but it's also a union of values. And that is why we need a better, stronger mechanism to assess the level of rule of law in all the member countries, not only in one or two member countries.
And I also express our full support for this initiative. We only thought that should not be a mechanism only for some countries, like it is the CVM for Romania and Bulgaria, as long as it is a common standard for all the European members. That would be in the advantage and the benefit of us, and that will make our efforts more effective, as long as we have equal treatment like all the 28 countries, and we fully support this initiative.
Yeah.
Next to Bloomberg News.
Yes, Kaspar Veita from Bloomberg. I have a question to Prime Minister Katainen. Some stories emerged over the weekend that the European Stability Mechanism is hiring investment banks to advise on potential rescues of euro area banks. It appears that the process on banking union may uncover some more black holes in the financial system. How severe do you see the risk that more bad debts will emerge in countries like Italy, Spain, even France and Germany?
This new news for me, I don't know exactly what the news is told. Now we are concentrating mostly on the banking union, and especially to find a solution how to define the role of Commission or another body which is responsible of bringing bad banks down or chopping the banks to good and bad parts. So this is the major issue at the moment. Of course, the legislation or the law basis of banking union is also a big question. But, I don't quite got the point. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to assess the potential risks or talk about them before we know how to deal with the failing banks in the future. And that's why for us it is very important to have a limited power to the body which is responsible of failing banks, not a general power to use taxpayers' money without a national decision making.
Next to Digi 24 TV.
Hi. You both talked about Romania importing Finland's know-how in technology and in green technology, in green mining. For our Prime Minister, could you give us more specific details about these future investments from Finland in Romania? And from Finland's Prime Minister, do you know about our debate on Rosia Montana back at home in Romania, and what do you think about it, if you know it?
I don't know.
So, because I know very well about your debate, and because I also was informed about the advanced technology that Finland, advanced and green technology that Finland is using in mining sector, because in Finland there is gold exploration, it's also uranium and many other natural resources, and because I've been informed about the green technologies, also I've been informed about environmental people who are against this, of course, in Finland, like everywhere in Europe. But I think that the Finnish standards are the highest in Europe, and I was just asking for a sort of exchange of information, technical assistance, a dialogue with the governmental agencies, but also with the private sector, which is working in this area, especially because we have right now in Romania a huge debate about the mining sector and how can we take advantage of our natural resources, keeping and preserving the environment.
Mining can also be sustainable area of industry, but there are three areas in which we have to take care of. The first one is economic sustainability, the second one is environmental sustainability, and third one is social. There is a university in Finland, Eastern Finland University, which is concentrated on social sustainability of mining. And this is a big issue. It's not only a economic competitiveness, but also the acceptance of people towards mining sector. And I want to say that mining can be sustainable area of industry if you just regulate it right way. There's no need to regulate everything, but there is absolutely a need to regulate right things. For instance, in environmental, from environmental point of view or from social point of view. So our minerals and valuable metals are mostly in northern Finland, and as you probably know, Lapland is very, its nature is very fragile, and also Santa Claus lives in Lapland, so we cannot do trouble to Santa Claus there with our mines. So that's why we need very efficient and very pure and green mining technology in order to make it happen.
And then the last question to YLE News.
Will you allow a question in Finnish to Prime Minister Katainen?
That's all right. I will agree with the answer.
I'll let you know what I'm asking.
No problem.
The German elections, I guess. Vaikuttaako tämä Saksan vaalitulos nyt Suomen EU-politiikkaan? Miten kommentoit sitä?
Ei varmasti vaikuta Suomen EU-politiikkaan, mutta helppo jatkaa sitä samaa hyvää yhteistyötä, mitä tähänkin saakka on tehty liittokansleri Merkelin johdolla. Sitä tietysti en osaa sanoa, onko hallituksen muodostamisella joku vaikutus Saksan EU-politiikkaan, mutta tuskin se Suomen EU-politiikkaan sekään vaikuttaa. Mä arvostan liittokansleri Merkeliä henkilönä erittäin paljon. Hän on ihminen, joka perehtyy yksityiskohtiin, mutta näkee myös suuren kehityslinjan. Ja hänen kanssaan on helppo keskustella, lähettää tekstiviestejä ja kommunikoida ylipäänsä. Eli ehkä osittain Suomen ja Saksan läheinen yhteistyö perustuu myös siihen, että liittokansleri itsensä kanssa on helppo asioida. Joskus ollaan eri mieltä, valtaosasta asioista ollaan ihan samaa mieltä. Voi sanoa, että tietyllä tapaa vaalitulos oli asioita varmastikin selventävä ja tietysti erittäin positiivinen myös se pieni yksityiskohta, että meidän vastuuntuntoinen ihmisistä ja Euroopasta huolta kantava eurooppapoliittinen linja sai Saksassa voiton ja tämmöinen populismi ei sitten kuitenkaan pärjännyt.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you for everybody for attending.
Okay, thank you.